Um, I also noted, Beth Robinson, you were on the call. Just wanted to do a quick shout out to you and say hello, welcome. We're glad that you're here with Fidelity. But our speaker for Fidelity today is Ami Hindia. Ami, I would pass it over to you.
Thank you, Elke. Hello, everybody. I'm honored to partake in today's Retirement Academy, and thank you to Definiti for the opportunity to be here. My name is Ami Hindia, and I'm the Central and Southeast Divisional Manager for 401k core market sales here at Fidelity. I reside in the Chicago suburbs. I oversee a team of 10 wholesalers who are charged for bringing in retirement plans under 50 million. I also manage one TPA consultant who is responsible for our TPA efforts in this region. I should mention that this is the first time that we are sharing our story in this type of format with Definiti. So today I'm going to focus really on Fidelity and partnerships with advisors as well as TPAs. We know that this might be a new story for many of you, so I thought it was worth highlighting. I hope that many of you have had the experience of working with us in some capacity, whether it be that you won plans with us, inherited a plan that has Fidelity as a record keeper already, or maybe your own plan is with us. We touch a lot of Americans via various business units, but at the end of the day, we take great pride in servicing our clients and serving them in a meaningful and personal way. As the largest record keeper in the country and also one of the leading asset managers in the country, we take our clients very seriously and know that many trust us to help them get to the finish line for retirement. It's a responsibility that we do take very seriously. And while we want to help our clients get to retirement on time, on their terms, with dignity and respect, we are also helping those that are currently in retirement. And we take that very seriously too. Being in retirement is not easy. It's not always walks on the beach or tea times on the golf course. I often compare being thrown into parenthood to being thrown into retirement. I always wanted to be a mom. And now I'm a mom to 3 little girls, 2 being twins and a singleton. But there's no manual to becoming a parent. And I promise you that first year for me was super scary for a variety of reasons. And it was much harder than I thought it would be. Well, we all think about retirement and how retirement could or would look like when we're working, so in our working years. But when you finally get there, it's nothing like most picture. You realize that paycheck's no longer coming in and that you have to make your money last. And that can also be super scary and hard for a lot of people to embrace. I saw that firsthand with my own parents that entered retirement in the past couple of years to see how scary and different it was for them. So with Definiti and Fidelity, you have 2 strong brands coming together that you can choose to work with in your practice. And I think together, we can elevate that experience not only for you as the advisor, but for your clients as well. So let's go to the second slide of my presentation. And I will give you a little sneak peek, if you see the second slide, into Fidelity as of late by the numbers. So let's go to slide 3. We believe that strength and stability absolutely matters. Strength to us really just means high level of service to clients seen through our 98% actually retention rate. It says 97% there, but it's 98% as of Q1. So our retention number, very much you see that because of the high level of service that we provide. But we also define stability as having less conversation about the lack of service due to disruptions caused by acquisitions. We're seeing a massive influx of RFPs from competitors who are dealing with acquisitions because plan sponsors have seen service levels drop to the point where they feel a change is best. When it comes to TPA numbers, we service over 2,000 plans and 450 individual TPA firms is who we partner with. We're certainly not strangers to TPA and definitely not to Definiti, who is a key partner of ours and a member of our TPA council. But worth pointing out on this slide that as of the end of Q1, we have just shy of 41 million participants that trust us to get them to the finish line. Like I said, we handled 17.3 million calls in our call center last year alone, 25,000 plus employer clients, and updated now 98% retention rate. Let's move to slide 4. So some of the reasons I think why our retention rate is so high is because of how much we can help our clients with their needs. And what I mean by that is when it comes to their 401k, we're proud to offer the same platform that we offer $1 billion plans to a $5 million plan. And again, what that means is that we grow with your plan and its ever-changing needs versus changing their platform to a different one after they grow like other record keepers do. And people often ask me, what size plans does Fidelity work with? Really anything over $1 million. Our average size plan is $5 million. Contrary to popular belief, I think that people typically think we work with only mega size plans. And whether it's student loan debt, HSA, stock plan services, as I said, we can grow with them as their needs change in order to offer integrated non-third party solutions. So for example, our HSA, which is ranked #1 by Morningstar, offers the ability to invest the first dollar and it is at no additional cost once the plan balance reaches $5,000. So it's a thoughtful solution, we think, for those seeking triple tax savings and don't necessarily need that money for medical purposes, but rather another vehicle to invest their hard-earned dollars. Let's move to the next slide. And there's a lot to see here, but I will simplify it for you. So you'll see that Fidelity is in various markets, looking across DC assets. What you'll see, though, on the right-hand side is our new DC clients as of the past 2-3 years. And what you'll see is a massive uptick in the core market, which again is what I represent, under 50 million. We have doubled down on the core market space of $50 million in plan sizes or less to give our world-class service to these plans as we would to the plans that fall in the larger spaces. And I look at the top, the blue area, in terms of why we win. We survey each one of the folks that we win and we say, what was it for you that made Fidelity be your selection? And they say it's the strength and stability, as I mentioned earlier, the reinvestment that we provide in terms of technology, which we're constantly innovating, our cybersecurity, which I'll touch on here at the end, integrated solutions that I just mentioned on the previous slide, our overall employee experience, and the service and expertise experience that we bring to the table. I will also mention that when it comes to year to date with TPA plans, we sold a little over 135 million in TPA plans. So working with Definiti is driving more plan sponsors, especially in our under $50 million space, to look at Fidelity for retirement solutions. Let's move to the next slide. Speaking to my earlier comments, when I mentioned service issues and such, maybe you here on the call today have heard about recent service and pricing concerns from your plan sponsors from some of our competitors on the slide. It's understandable that they feel the need to grow their market share in order to survive, but the unintended consequence of these acquisitions is the lack of service or the service issues that we hear about. We are the record keeper that is growing organically, and why we think that's great is because you and your clients won't feel the hiccups or the disruptions in your servicing with us. We are one of the few record keepers offering stability for TPAs as well as their clients. Let's move to the next slide. And with the next slide, I would just say, I wish I had more than 15 minutes to really tell you about all the innovation and the new technology that we're investing in here at Fidelity. It's unreal. But I will say it's worth having a conversation with your local wholesaler about that. Let's move to the next slide. So because I mentioned cybersecurity a little while ago, I think it's worth mentioning that really it's last but not least. I think we see cybersecurity as becoming more and more impactful in the provider decision-making process. We see more and more questions on this topic on RFPs than we've ever seen before. There are by far an average more assets in people's retirement plans than in their banking account. It's where the money is. And so plan sponsors want to know that their assets are not only safe, but that we're proactively letting their participants know when their information is found on the dark web or that their information is being compromised in some capacity. The only thing that you really need to do is ask the record keeper if they have ISO 27001 certification. It's on the slide here. The response should be yes, or actually, if you click on the slide again, you'll see the ISO certification that I mentioned. It should be on the right-hand side. Hopefully it'll pop up. But really the response should be yes or no, not that we adhere to or that we follow the standards of ISO. There it is, ISO 27001. It shouldn't be that we follow the standards of, or that, you know, anything with regards to that. I would say ISO certifications are internationally recognized, not really expensive, and provide an independent review and certification. It basically allows you to not take someone's word for how secure they are. And this helps. This really does help, I think. So keep that in mind, that our cybersecurity is designed around your clients and their employees. Next slide, please. Lots of information on the slide, but all with regards to cybersecurity. And I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about how we work with TPAs. So if we go to the last slide here, after this one, there's a lot of excitement at Fidelity right now for our TPA program. We recently hired our director, who you just met before I was introduced, Beth Robinson, who is laser focused on our strategy and development of tools and resources for TPAs. And we hired 3 TPA consultants. One that I mentioned was in my region. We have one for each region, West Coast, Central, as well as the East Coast. And they're supporting TPAs to improve efficiencies and experiences for our clients. For the advisors here, we feel that working with Definiti and Fidelity will provide superior experience for you as the advisor and a superior outcome for your clients. So to wrap up, Fidelity is the leader of all things retirement, building up for it and then living in it. None of your clients should feel super scary or feel like it's hard once they enter retirement, like my parents. And so let's get them to retire on time, on their terms, with dignity and respect together. And with that, I'll see if there's any questions for me.
Hi, Ami. Thank you so much for sharing all that information with us. Obviously, I know this is a new kind of venture for Fidelity, kind of entering into the space again. So we really appreciate you guys being here today to support that activity. Did have one question, just wanted to confirm the plan size. What typically is your plan size when you're working with a TPA and an advisor on retirement plans? What's that look like?
So when we get opportunities for under $1 million, we refer it to Definiti, or a TPA, because that's where I think where they can best be handled. But we really do work with plans over $1 million. We're competitively priced, and we definitely accept opportunities to compete for 1 million and over. In my market, like I said, the core market, we're 1 to 50 million is what I represent, being on the call here today. And obviously we move more into large market as well. But yes, down to 1 million, because there's a misconception in the marketplace that we only want a certain number of plans that are typically in the double-digit range, and that's certainly not true.
Wonderful. Great. I don't see any other questions, but that doesn't mean we won't have more later. So again, thank you, Ami, for your participation today. And thank you, Beth, who's on the call. I see you. Thanks for both of you for being here today. And we look forward to hearing from you guys again. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, at this time, because we do know this is the work day and you guys are doing other things, perhaps while you're attending the Definiti Retirement Academy, we are going to take a pause. We're going to take a 5-minute break so that you can attend to those urgent messages or maybe bio break. And then we'll be right back with our next presenter from Transamerica. So 5-minute break. We'll see you here in just a few minutes. See you soon.